Hello everybody, in this video we will speak about the fourth group of Bach flower essences, about remedies for loneliness. However, this name may be a little bit misleading because these people only rarely complain during the first consultation that they feel lonely. Loneliness is in fact their main or problem, but it lies very deep, and they even aren't aware of it. And it is their problematic behavior that is most striking. So these three remedies, there are only three remedies only. I've thought about some metaphor how to express them to help you remember these remedies, and I found following three animals that aren't really of that kind that you would like to hug them or to touch them. You probably would like to keep a distance from them, and it's typical for these people that the other people keep a distance from them. Watch violet, I compared it with a cold fish, with cold emotions, distant, living in the world of his own. Impatiens can be compared with a hedgehog that keeps the other people with his stitching skin, and nobody dares to touch him. And finally, Heather we can compare him with mosquito that wants to have a contact with you, and he can be quite intense in this struggle, but you try to avoid him as much as possible because he sucks blood. Water violet people are people who didn't learn during their childhood how to communicate with the other people, and that is why they seem cold, distant, and they avoid company, and they live in their own world. They may be, for example, skillful mathematician or IT specialists or doctors, but doctors that work more in the lab. They do not work with patients because they aren't empathetic. They cannot create a therapeutic relationship with their patients, and they do not understand really what's happening in the society. They don't understand why the other people like to spend time talking about nothing, and they do not know how to make friends, how to find a partner. And you can see also this lack of communication skills in their mimic, that this mimic is reduced, and again they may look like a cold fish. In less expressed situation, or they may also be perceived by the other people as haughty, because they keep a distance and they have often some special skills that, and because of that skill, they may seem that they are that they think that they are more than the others. And sometimes people can get into the temporary water violet condition state. For example, when they get to an environment where they do not feel accepted, or where they feel that they do not fit into this group of people. For example, a boy that has lived till now in a village comes to a big city and he meets students that live a completely different life. Or for example, when somebody moves to another country and there is a language gap or culture gap that also hinders in fitting into the society. And we can compare ultraviolet with, for example, clematis, that is withdrawn and passive, but this disconnection is caused by the fact that he lives in his own world of fantasies or computer games or something, and really doesn't want to make a contact with disagreeable events that happen around him. And Beach, that is hypercritical, haughty, arrogant, and fault-finding. He criticizes all the time the other people, and he's excluded from the group because of his haughtiness and of his feeling that he is better than the other people. Impatiens people are tense and nervous and abrupt and burst easily, but then they calm quickly again. So it's like a burst of some explosion, and then they calm down. A sentence that would express the feeling of impatience is "leave me alone, do not touch me, do not talk to me." And they are often practically oriented. Their frequent sentence is "time is money." There is no time to talk or to be lazy, to watch TV or something. It's necessary to do something all the time. And time pressure is something very typical for them, and they are all the time they are in a hurry, and they speak very fast and move fast. Some people also may get into a temporary impatient state when they are, for example, in a time pressure at work. When they are ill, they are stressed by so many duties they have, and they must postpone, or they want to be healthy as soon as possible. And it's also difficult to have a patience with the people that are slow. So first they try to push them to work faster, and then they prefer to do things alone. And we can compare impatience with cherry plum, that also has bursts of anger, for example, because they try to maintain self-control as long as possible, and when they cannot anymore, they burst. Vervain, there is anger or exasperation, and they are rebellious by nature. That's the difference, for example, from impatience. Holy is full of hate, aggression, revengefulness. They feel that the other people want to hurt them, to do something bad to them, and they beat back, they strike back. And Vine is domineering, dictatorial, cruel. Impatience just wants other people to leave him alone. Vine wants to dominate them, to control them. And impatience is a part of crisis essence because it helps to reduce tension. That is something that often accompanies some acute states. And Heather desires company. It's quite an opposite of impatience or of ultraviolet, but the way how he does it is very disagreeable. He is very talkative. He wants to be a center of attention. He may dress provocative dress, or he may behave childishly or boast. And he literally sucks the energy of the other people. And he is often selfish and self-centered. So the other people prefer to avoid him. When such a patient comes to your consulting room, he just sits and talks and talks and talks, and even when the consultation is at the end, he continues talking, and you feel that you have nothing. You can on what you could build your diagnosis or your conclusion, and he would talk and talk because he thinks that talking is what treats. He doesn't try to find something underneath. So if you feel sucked out and exhausted after a consultation, it might be probable that the patient needs Heather. And Heather is also quite important in physical complaints, where the patient pays a lot of attention to his local complaint, and he wants to talk about it. Or when he feels badly, he wants to call to his partner or parents or children. That's mosquito. You do not like to be with mosquito. And Heather is absorbed by his minor problem, and it is also a remedy a useful remedy in small children that are naughty because they want to attract attention of the other people, of parents. And in old people, they call frequently, exaggerate their physical problems just to attract attention. They visit repeatedly doctors, and their behavior also may provoke some aversion, even in these healthcare practitioners. And we can compare Heather with chicory. Chicory is about smother love. Chicory is manipulative, tries to attract love and care by physical problems, but he usually tries to attract the attention of family members or friends. And in Heather, it doesn't matter whether it is a psychologist, doctor, or another traveler in a bus, for example. Agrimony is oversensitive to conflicts and hides the problem behind joking. He is very talkative and desires company, but agrimonies are usually very present. People whom you like to meet because they are a center of a society, of a group, and they are like clowns or entertainers, and other people love to listen to them. And Scleranthus has often a changeable mood, and he is unable to decide between two options. And this indecision may be also in Heather, but in Heather it is a way how to attract attention, but in Scleranthus it's just about a changeable mood and inner instability. And Mimulus has a fear of disease, and Heather is somewhat similar in that. So, still once, water violet, cold, distant, he lacks interpersonal skills and may seem not haughty or distant, cold. Impatiens is hurried, nervous, irritable, and bursts easily, and there is a constant time pressure. And finally, Heather demands attention, is talkative, boasting, childish, and it may be useful, for example, in demanding children or old people. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And in the next video, we will speak about the fifth group of the essences, about oversensitivity to influences and ideas.